My name is Olivia Chen, and right now, I'm standing in the wreckage of my daughter Lily's first birthday party. The cake I meticulously ordered is smashed. The decorations I handpicked are in shreds, and Amanda, my sister-in-law, is hosting a Facebook Live to promote her new business venture. All of this chaos, of course, was masterminded by my mother-in-law, Eleanor, who swore she just wanted to help. I should have seen this coming. The red flags were everywhere from the moment I married David 3 years ago. Eleanor and Amanda had always treated our relationship like a temporary inconvenience. I still remember Amanda's smirk at our rehearsal dinner as she raised her glass. "Oh, you're actually going through with the wedding," she said, tapping her perfectly manicured nails against her wine glass. "How brave." Eleanor was subtler, though no less dismissive. "David needs a strong woman," she'd say, her gaze sliding past me like I wasn't even there. "Someone who understands family values." It didn't matter that I built a thriving interior design business from the ground up. In their world, success wasn't about hard work, it was about pedigree and connections. When I became pregnant with Lily, I hoped things would change. They didn't. Amanda sent a generic congrats text 3 days after the announcement. Eleanor arrived at the hospital for a quick photo op, holding Lily just long enough to snap a picture for social media before rushing off to a charity board meeting. Still, I was determined to make Lily's first birthday unforgettable. I spent weeks planning every detail: a custom cake from Sweet Dreams Bakery, handmade decorations, and a color palette of soft pinks and golds. David thought I was overdoing it, but I wanted it to be perfect. Then Eleanor called. "Sweetheart," she said, her voice syrupy sweet. "Amanda and I were just talking about Lily's party. You must be so overwhelmed with everything. Why don't you let us help? We have some wonderful ideas." I hesitated. From the couch, David gave me an encouraging look that made my stomach knot. "That's thoughtful," I said carefully, "but I've already got everything handled." "Nonsense. What kind of grandmother would I be if I didn't help? Amanda's event planning network has access to the best vendors. We could make this so much more elegant." Event planning network. Right. Amanda had called herself an event planner ever since organizing a single charity auction last year. Meanwhile, I'd designed high-end event spaces for actual clients. But of course, that didn't count. "Mom's right, Liv," David chimed in. "They just want to help. What's the harm?" The harm? I wanted to scream. Did he not remember our wedding, when Amanda conveniently forgot to include me in the family photos? Or Christmas dinner, when Eleanor served everyone except me because she thought I was watching my figure. But instead of arguing, I gave in. "Fine," I said tightly. "They can help with setup on the day." Biggest mistake of my life. The morning of Lily's party, I arrived early at the venue, a charming converted farmhouse with a picturesque garden. My heart sank when I saw Eleanor's Mercedes already parked out front. Inside, the scene was a nightmare. My carefully chosen decorations were gone, replaced with tacky banners featuring Amanda's new company logo. Strangers in business attire mingled where my close friends and family were supposed to be. "What's going on?" I demanded, clutching Lily tightly. Eleanor appeared, beaming. "Oh, Olivia, perfect timing. Amanda's launching her event planning company, Aita Affairs. Isn't it fabulous? We thought this would be the perfect opportunity to announce it. All the right people are here." "What?" I stared in disbelief as Amanda strutted over, directing 2 men I'd never seen before. She gestured toward the new centerpiece of the room, a towering metallic cake emblazoned with her logo. "We had to replace the original cake. Yours wouldn't have photographed well. Trust me, this one's much more sophisticated. I'm the professional after all." My throat tightened as I looked around, my vision blurring. This wasn't a birthday party anymore, it was a business launch. My daughter's milestone had been hijacked, and as I stood there, holding Lily, the full weight of their disregard hit me. This was just the beginning. They weren't just testing my patience anymore. They were testing my marriage, my dignity, and my ability to fight back. And for the first time, I realized I was going to have to stand up for myself in ways I never had before. My hands trembled as more strangers flooded into what should have been my daughter Lily's special day. I clutched her tighter, my chest tightening as the party I planned so carefully unraveled before my eyes. David finally arrived, his eyes lighting up as he took in the transformed venue. Wow, Mom and Amanda really went all out. he said, completely oblivious to my distress. David, this isn't Lily's party anymore, I whispered, my voice trembling. Look around. They've turned it into a business launch. Before he could answer, Eleanor swooped in, her smile polished to perfection. David, darling, come meet the Andersons. They're on the country club board. Amanda's hoping to secure their gala contract. She ushered him away before I could say another word, leaving me alone with a fussing Lily as camera flashes lit up the room. Amanda had hired a professional photographer to document the day, not for Lily's birthday, but for her company's social media debut. My carefully scheduled events, Lily's cake cutting, her first attempt at unwrapping presents, had been completely ignored. Ladies and gentlemen, Amanda's voice rang out, cutting through the murmur of the crowd. She stood on a chair, holding a champagne flute. Thank you all for joining us for this very special event. While we're here celebrating my niece's birthday, she gestured vaguely in our direction without even looking at Lily. I'm thrilled to announce the official launch of Elite Affairs, your premier luxury event planning service. Applause erupted, drowning out Lily's cries. She buried her face in my shoulder, overwhelmed by the noise and unfamiliar faces. Desperate to comfort her, I headed toward the quiet room I'd specifically arranged for overstimulated children, only to find a sign on the door, VIP Networking Lounge, closed to guests. Perhaps you should take her home as she's going to be fussy, Eleanor suggested loudly, her voice dripping with condescension. We wouldn't want her to disrupt Amanda's presentation. Presentation, I echoed, incredulous. Oh, just a little PowerPoint, Amanda chimed in, smirking, showcasing my previous work, like the Petersons charity auction. You remember that one, Olivia? The event you wanted to design but couldn't handle. My cheeks burned. I had declined that job because I'd been on bed rest during my pregnancy with Lily. Amanda had swooped in, using my contacts to land a contract. David, I pleaded, finding him at the bar. Please do something. This is Lily's day. He shifted uncomfortably. They did put a lot of effort into this, Liv. And Mom's right, maybe Lily would be happier at home. She's too young to remember this anyway. My breath caught as I saw Eleanor slip something into Amanda's hand, my phone. They must have taken it from my purse while I was distracted. Amanda scrolled through my client list, her face lighting up. You'll never guess who just signed with Elite Affairs, Amanda announced gleefully to her Facebook Live audience. The Richardsons. Yes, the Richardsons, who are redecorating their estate. The room spun. The Richardsons were my clients. I'd spent months designing their project, and now Amanda was claiming them as her own. What a perfect birthday gift for my niece. Amanda continued, her smile sharp, knowing her auntie's business is already thriving. Oh, and I'm excited to announce Elite Affairs will now offer interior design services. My heart sank. This wasn't just about hijacking Lily's party. They were stealing my clients, my business model, and my reputation, all while my daughter cried in my arms. Desperate to salvage something, I slipped away to the kitchen, hoping to retrieve Lily's original cake. But when I opened the door, I froze. The beautiful, custom-made cake I'd ordered lay smashed on the floor. Oh, such a shame, Eleanor said from behind me, her tone insincere. Amanda's assistant must have knocked it over while setting up the corporate sponsorship display. But don't worry, our cake is much more photogenic. Tears stung my eyes as I stared at the ruins of what should have been a joyful celebration. This wasn't just thoughtlessness, it was calculated. They weren't helping, they were dismantling everything I cared about, piece by piece. But they'd underestimated me, because as I stood there, clutching my crying daughter, I realized I had something they didn't expect. Evidence. Evidence that could expose their scheming and turn their perfect plan upside down. I looked at my crying daughter, then at the ruined cake on the floor. Something inside me snapped. Years of biting my tongue, of enduring their insults and helpful sabotage, it all came rushing forward. Enough was enough. David. I called sharply, my voice cutting through the noise as I marched into the main room. Get your mother and sister. Now, maybe it was my tone or the sheer shock of me making a demand, but he actually listened. Within minutes, we were crammed into the venue's private office, me, David, Eleanor, and Amanda, who was still clutching my phone like a trophy. First, give me my phone, I said, my voice low but firm. Amanda hesitated, clearly surprised, but she handed it over. Now let me show you all something interesting. I pulled up my phone's recording app and hit play. Eleanor's voice filled the room, clear and unmistakable. Just think, Amanda, once we ruin her party and take her clients, she'll finally understand she doesn't belong in this family. David will see she's not good enough. Eleanor gasped. You recorded us? No, I said evenly, you recorded yourselves. When you took my phone to steal my client list, you accidentally triggered my business call recording app. Funny how karma works, isn't it? David's face went pale as he stared at his mother and sister. Mom, Amanda, please tell me this isn't true. Oh, stop being dramatic, Amanda scoffed, though her voice wavered. We were trying to help. Olivia clearly can't handle running a real business. I mean, look at this pathetic excuse for a party. Pathetic? I cut in, my anger simmering just below the surface. The party you sabotaged, just like you've sabotaged my wedding, my career, and every other success I've worked for. But here's the part you didn't think through. I pulled a folder from my bag and slapped it on the desk. The Richardsons signed a legally binding contract with me 3 months ago. So when you announced their partnership with Elite Affairs on Facebook Live, you committed fraud. In front of witnesses. Eleanor's composure faltered. You wouldn't dare make a scene. Watch me, I said, heading for the door. Either you go out there and admit the truth, or I'll let my lawyer handle this. And believe me, they'll enjoy untangling your little stunt. David, Eleanor pleaded, turning to her son. Are you really going to let her do this to us? David looked at me, then at the recording still playing on my phone. His voice was quiet but firm. Yes, Mom, I am, because Olivia's right. This is Lily's birthday, and you've turned it into a circus. What happened next was as satisfying as it was chaotic. Eleanor and Amanda were forced to issue a public apology, stumbling through a humiliating retraction about the misunderstanding regarding the business announcement. Their guests, potential clients, and board members left in droves, realizing they'd been lured under false pretenses. Meanwhile, the staff, who'd overheard everything, retrieved Lily's cake from the back room, where they'd hidden it to protect it from Eleanor's upgrades. It wasn't picture perfect, but it was hers. And as Lily clapped her hands and giggled while smashing a slice of cake, I knew I'd made the right choice. David leaned close, his voice heavy with regret. I'm sorry, Liv. I should have seen what they were doing sooner. Yes, I said simply, you should have. But now you do. And things are going to change. In the weeks that followed, those changes became clear. Eleanor and Amanda's social standing took a nosedive. Turns out, people don't appreciate being manipulated for a fake business launch. My design firm, on the other hand, thrived, and as for David and me, we started marriage counseling, rebuilding trust, and setting firm boundaries. No more uninvited help. No more undermining. No more pretending everything was fine. Eleanor and Amanda weren't happy, of course, but they didn't have much choice. That recording stayed safely with my lawyer, a reminder that standing up for yourself isn't just brave. Sometimes it's necessary. Last week, we celebrated Lily's 2nd birthday. It was small, simple, and absolutely perfect. No schemes, no stolen clients, just the people who truly cared about us. As Lily blew out her candles with a little help from Daddy, I realized something important. The best gift we can give our children isn't a flawless party or impressive connections. It's teaching them to stand up for what matters with dignity, strength, and the courage to demand better. What about you? If you'd been in my shoes, how would you have handled it? Would you have exposed their scheme publicly or taken a quieter route? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts.